off. This is a playthrough of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Last time we were right at the beginning. Obviously, we went through the area with the labs, and then we went down into the refinery, evaded the warp monster, and of course we went through the storage, and we went down to the lift, and here we are. So we are now at the beginning of the prison. The prison introduces a new enemy type, although we don't come into contact with it. It's one of these hallucinations.
What was that? Forgive me, I should have warned you. One of my responsibilities as a Baron is that of a prison warden. This is where criminals are locked up.
Like a dungeon?
Very much so. Come, don't linger.
I'm going to turn the brightness up. This is mainly for my benefit because this is an extremely dark area. Better check what the run mechanic is. Right, that's the run mechanic. You'll notice as well that I've pretty much saved on oil and tinder boxes for good reason. It's going to come in handy on the second part of the prison, because it's going to be there might be a bit of backtracking basically, and I do backtracking a certain way because I want to have less monster encounters, because it means that I won't be spending time hiding. You do not want to get trapped with a monster in this area. Right. Almost done. Right, here we go. You know, I've never really looked behind here. Is there anything? No. Alright. Head is pounding, hands are shaking, knees weak, arms spaghetti, he's nervous. Right then. There is a monster encounter here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go right, because I believe there's some supplies in the boxes. I think there's some oil around here as well. Box. I'm actually going to hide in here when the monster comes out. The reason for that is you can go right, but like if you're facing this way you can go right. Here's the oil. But if you go straight on, you will most likely die. Here we go. Right, we got the hammer. Is there something else in here? No, there's not. Okay. The reason why I don't go in here is because there's a lot of light. And there's the monster. Like the second encounter. Right, monster's gone. Some oil. I always go left first because if I go left it means there's only one monster encounter.
Where is she? Where did she go?
No. Oh, tell. I'll never tell you.
You're just making things worse. Look, this is no place for a young girl all by herself. She could be hurt or worse. There's no telling what horrors await down there.
Right, I'm just gonna... Hang on a sec. That's it. Do that, it'll bring my sanity back up to head pounding, which just means less haze. So there's going to be a monster encounter here. So yeah, we just want to wait in this room until it hides. Until it goes, I mean. Go, it's gone. So I think that's where we need to go. Yeah. But I'm actually going to go down here first. Reason for that is there's some health. I don't think there's anything down there. So we're just going to go back up. This is the first part completed.
But Mother, I don't want to leave without you. Hurry, child. You must go. Find Gabriel, the Outrider, and tell him to alert the King's men. No, you come too. Please, we don't have time to make the hole any wider. But... Someone is coming. Hurry. I'll cover the hole with the bed. Everything will be fine. I promise.
I can never remember which way I'm supposed to go. I'll do that. Oh, that's much better than dragging it. Right then, that way is the kitchen. We're not actually going to go that way yet. But what we are going to do is light this place up like a Christmas tree. The reason for that is there's something that we need to pick up. So we're actually going to go left first. We're going to go down here. Pick up these supplies.
Deserve this? It wasn't my fault! Why did he have to go in there? Don't go into burning houses. He should have known better.
So if you actually downloaded the Amnesia on Steam like I did, you'll know that there's a Remember story that came with the what do you call it? It basically came with the game, and that guy that just spoke there is actually from that piece of writing, so it's worth checking out if you haven't seen it before.
2nd of August, 1839. I have arrived at the village of Altstadt. It's a haven in the midst of a vast forest and the last stop before my final destination, Castle Brennenburg. It's late in the evening, and the outrider, who has been with the coach since Bremen, advised me to wait until morning before I venture further. I've arranged for a bed at Der Müller, the village's only inn, and am now waiting for the sun to rise. I try to sleep, but as I close my eyes, I see the men who fell victim in London. My fear and shame forces me to witness the same scenes over and over. They are dead because of me.
Actually going to get a monster encounter here, so we're going to activate it and then run back in this room. I think that encounter is basically to fake the player out into thinking, oh, I need to scramble into one of these rooms, which it does work. Every time that I've played this, I've gone into this room, but I suppose you can go into any of the other rooms and sort of listen to it patrol. Right then. Okay, we're moving on.
Is he safe? Well, it's for his own good.
Here we go. This is where I want to be.
Soon we'll be ready. Let them
Right then, there's actually a bug in this game where there'll be a monster encounter that will activate, but if you sit here, you go normal.
Where is he now?
Daniel stops grinding his teeth, and we're in total darkness, by the way. It's like pitch black. Notice how it's like going a little weird? So this is actually across from the room where we activate that monster. So I'm just going to get this first.
3rd of August, 1839. I feel like I have fled the world and all its worries. Brennenburg is a majestic creation perched upon a forest-clad hill with towers reaching well above even the highest pine trees. Following the winding road leading to the gates gives the impression of discovering something forgotten, as if journeying with Marco Polo to the hidden Xanadu. Alexander, the Baron, is a peculiar but gracious man. He seems well versed in worldly matters, and is not at all as eccentric as I assumed. My room is exquisite, and I'm confident that no hotel for miles could even hope to match it. As the sun sets on Brennenburg, its fairy tale varnish turns to an eerie gloom. Alexander's strange servants are never far away. They are a quiet lot, and their behavior could only be described as skulking. Alexander seems pleased by my presence, as it seems like I got here just in time.
Okay, I'm gonna activate this monster now. This is a bit odd. This monster should have gone by now. Alright, that's a bug. That's, that doesn't normally happen. It's like he's punching the wall. This could be the one video where I die. This is actually one of two monster encounters that, like the two that I actually can't stand. There's not really much I can do about this. The door opens pretty much. This is obviously a bug. So this actually hasn't happened to me before. I'm going to have to probably just run out of here and like come back because it's bugged. This monster isn't going anytime soon, so here we go. This is completely new. This has got to be bugged. Right, there we go. Okay. So, I've played this on Steam, and the monster disappears after a minute. So whatever's happened here has to be like a console bug. So, if that actually happens to you, where he gets stuck and keeps walking into that corner, just do what I did and basically run out of the room and go all the way back there. Right. Okay, we're back on track now. I did waste a lot of oil there, I'm not too happy about that. This is where we need to be, we need to get the jar. Should be some more oil in here, fortunately. Right, and there's going to be another monster encounter. Why can't I shut that? Right, there we go. Okay, got a few more tinder boxes here. Some potatoes. Potatoes and bread, it's all about the carbs. Okay, that is weird. Why is that not activating? It activates after coming out of the storage, now I'm concerned. Alright, let's just go to the kitchen. but these are all locked.
August 1839. The nightmares woke me in the early morning, and for a moment I forgot where I was. Shortly after, there was a knock on my door. Alexander had heard my screams and asked me to join him in the parlor. As we drank our tea, Alexander began to tell me what he knew. It seems like the orb I found casts a long and dark shadow. It's not only a powerful item, but a dangerous one. Simply by touching it, you invoke the powers within, and if you are too weak to control it, it will devour you. The shadow is a sluggish thing, lagging behind the wielder, killing anyone or anything in its path to reclaim the orb. I said I didn't care about its powers, and that I should throw it away. Alexander advised against this, as I'd still be a part of the path to the orb, and eventually suffer death. Having the orb, I would at least have the chance to fight back when the time came. I asked Alexander what he meant when he said he could protect me, and he answered that things can be done, but at a price.
Okay, if everything goes to plan here, we should have another monster encounter, and it'll start when I go back here. There we go. Right on cue. Just gonna get these and then we'll go to the back. Just gonna start knocking on the door. Right then, this should technically be the only monster encounter, but there might be another one that spawns. Alright, I actually think we're good. So there's 2 more monster encounters.
Hey, you! Stop!
Don't come any closer! I just want to leave!
You can't go outside! It's too dangerous!
I'm telling Gabriel!
I doubt that very much.
I'm going to pick up this tinder box. There should be one that comes out again. Ha! I actually didn't hear it. So when I play, I've actually got one headphone over my left ear and the right one over my right. Off my right ear, I mean. So yeah, we're just gonna wait here. Put the other one on so I can actually hear. Okay, I can actually hear that monster coming because I got the left earphone on and the right earphone off. Because if I have both of them on together, it just starts. I just sound like I'm shouting. Okay, so the last monster encounter, the monster will come around the corner. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to put the jar on the acid. And when we activate the hammer, that monster's going to come. We're going to open and close the gate really quickly. Like this. Boom. Now, you'll want to go through the door, because if you don't, he will just come through the door and kick your ass. So, let's do that.
So you used the drain sewers as a means of transport?
Yes, they were built to divert water from an underground spring and are quite spacious. It seemed only natural to incorporate it into the overall structure.
But we won't be using it.
Not today. The flow is seasonal, and when the spring runs dry, the damp tunnels produce a rather poisonous type of fungi. There is an antidote, of course, but we won't be bothering with it today. Come, this way instead. We're almost there.
So we want to collect some oil. Personally, I would use this to fill up my lantern, but... we're just allowing this ladder to go this line.
find this place?
An old friend back in Algiers gave me a map.
Why isn't he with us? Didn't he want to come?
He wanted to, Daniel, but things don't always turn out the way we planned.
Basically what I'm doing here is listening for a click. And that's how you get that bit to work. These parts here we're going to need, so I'm just going to take these through. For this puzzle, I think it's 1 down, 2, 3 up, and 4 down. You want to get that thing so it's all the way in. So there's a wooden crank here.
Daniel, is that you? What are you doing?
It's Alexander talking to us. Else here. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so I forgot a piece. The reasons why I have the boxes here like this is because okay, it's working at the moment. Just so I can get through there with ease. get rid of these boxes from. I'll leave the other. There they go. Right. Have they patched this yet? No. Right. I can't remember if it's the left side. Okay. Honestly, if you can't be bothered to put them on, just do it like this, believe me. Or you can go like this. Stop sign. Right, wicked. So, we've got that going for us. Oh no! Whatever shall I do? Right. So you can actually put the wooden crank on there. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I actually had the boxes there. So technically you can finish the game with the wooden crank. Get one of these, just throw it up. There we go. Now which one is this? I'll go to the more glass. Not because of jump scares or anything like that, but just because my sanity will drop like crazy. So, right, we're in the cistern now, and this is actually a second water monster encounter.
Conserving water from the spring.
Yes, it enables me to control the water in the drain sewers to some extent. Also, it can be used for all sorts of purposes.
Like for drinking?
Well, that too. But mostly to run different machines.
Ah, like water mills.
Exactly.
So the water monster's actually in here, but it's not going to spawn because I don't think the water's actually deep enough for it. I'm not sure the whole mechanics of it. But the basic gist of things is that this is the last, that area over there is like the last area we're going to go. So first we're going to go left and then we're going to go right. So like left first, middle second, and then the right side. And so we'll have less of a distance to go on the way back. Technically don't want to come into contact with that water monster. So here's the first note.
7th of August, 1839. There is no denying that Alexander puts a lot of faith into what I can only describe as magic. I'm not surprised. Even while traveling across Europe, I assumed I would have to embrace the supernatural to save my mind and life. As a novice, I do everything in my power to stay focused and not dwell too much on my own doubts. Alexander woke me up early and told me it was time we got started on our work. He was obviously excited to get going, and we headed downstairs to the old dungeon, where he preferred to attempt his rituals. It turns out that Alexander is a true Renaissance man, paralleled only by Da Vinci, I'm sure. He showed me several rooms fitted for specific research, such as anatomy studies, alchemy, and botany. The crown of Brennenburg must be the inner sanctum, a most hallowed ground where we shall attempt to permanently banish the orb's shadow.
All right. Okay. Just checking to see if there's any stuff here. Nope.
8th of August, 1839. I could never be certain until today that I was on the right path. Using my orb, Alexander managed to channel its power unto us. The inner sanctum flared with blue, fiery light, and I could feel the same things I felt in the dark chamber in Algeria. It was like standing in a mad whirlpool of impressions. It was terrifying. But Alexander kept calm and wielded strange tools of science in order to tame the storm. Suddenly, the blue light was stained by strains of red, and the walls burst with pulsating tissue resonating with the scene. Alexander quickly covered the orb in some cloth, and the unspeakable thing vanished. Apparently, the orb's shadow is closer than Alexander thought. He said I should prepare for a warding ritual tomorrow. I'm not sure what he expects, but I have a bad feeling about this.
Right on, Daniel, right on.
August 1839. It is still early, and Alexander is busy preparing for the ritual later today. Seeing him this worked up makes me question why. What does he stand to gain? I realize he is curious about it all, but surely there must be more. Is he so foolish he will attempt to tame the power of the orb? I must admit that yesterday, when Alexander flooded the inner sanctum with blue light, I realized we had but graced the orb's true potential. This might turn out to be more than escaping a creeping shadow. It might be the beginning of something truly extraordinary.
this point now the water monster is technically activated. So we want to be careful when jumping over these. Unfortunately, we got through that with ease. Now comes the really fun part, the morgue. Blech. So we're actually going to go left first and then we're going to go right. Left because I think there's some supplies. Go light the way as well.
Do you see, Daniel? It has yielded.
What?
The shadow.
Has?
For now. Come, let's get this out of here so we can get some peace.
Yes, let's. Where to?
Just down the corridor, to the morgue.
Are there more dead men there?
You did well, Daniel. Come, let's get going.
Why are all these dead? Where am I? What's happening? Help! Anybody! Help!
There's actually like more of an encounter in there. The truth is, you don't really want to spend too much time in these areas because they will drain your sanity. Right, so we got a copper tube.
I hear you breathing, Daniel. Do you hear me? Have you changed your mind?
that's the big guy. Like flicking the joystick now and it's like moving slightly. Right. It's time to get out of here. So we've moved the water to the cistern. We could actually, because we've got the vaccine now, we can actually move on to the next area. Lag. Okay. Another monster encounter coming up. Mushrooms. The good news about this area, we don't actually have to use our lantern because there's enough natural light to kind of just like go about every area. The goal of this area is to basically make that slower. So that's what we're going to do. Put this one to the left, and then we'll put this one to the right. Yeah, that's about right. So we get a monster encounter here. We're just going to wait here for a bit. Have you got any sandwiches? Now it's time to eat them. Okay. Right. We actually need a pipe now, which is in the opposite end of this area. Oh, thank you. I almost forgot about that. There we go. Got that. Someone needs to get Super Mario on this phone.
What's happening? What are you doing? Let me go! Please, don't take me! Nobody ever returns!
Got another couple of monster encounters coming up. This first one, you basically have to hide, and there's not much room to hide. This room is just weird. I think the shadow killed this monster. Yeah, this is what they...
Daniel, turn around this instant. You are carrying the shadow with you.
That's what the gatherers look like. So, we've activated this monster, there's not really anywhere to hide. The best thing we can do is probably just go back here. This has worked for me for a fair few times. And right then, we've done this. The final monster encounter is going to be patrolling an area we need to go. So what we need to do is create a distraction and then just sneak around. This is where it is. So he's actually round that corner there. What we want to do is we want to throw a rock here, in this area. He'll go and investigate. When he does, we'll be crouching to sneak around basically. As you can see, there's some rocks next to some health here. is actually just round the corner there. And we can hear his blade going over there now. But then we want to run because he will start to chase us. Close the doors behind you because otherwise he will kill you. Once you've done that, we've completed the cistern and we're on to the final phase, the final area. Now I just want to point out that that ceiling right there is not the same ceiling we're going to do for. Right then, so this is the final part of the game. I won't say the final specific part, but the final area. So there's a few big sort of areas actually, to be honest, but we're going to be focusing mainly on the area that's coming up down the stairs. It's not working, something must be wrong with the machine. Right.
9th of August 1839. I can't stop sweating and shaking. The warding ritual was not something of a sane mind. I did not even realize the dungeon was still in use. Alexander had his servants bring one of the prisoners, a murderer, he told me. Alexander made all the arrangements, but he said I had to perform the ritual in order to have the right effect. The shadow could be led astray by the blood of another. Killing the man would provide us precious time. What else could I do? Alexander said it had to be done. He is saving my life. I don't have the luxury of argument.
Okay, some of these doors will be locked. I'm actually going to try and speedrun this area because it's pretty long. Not gonna lie. I will be coming back up here a couple of times.
Agrippa, I need you to stay awake. Can you feel the syringe?
No, I can't feel anything. Alexander?
Yes?
Soon, I won't even be able to move, will I?
Your life is safe.
I don't doubt that. But will it be worth living?
You have my gratitude. My name is Agrippa. Who might you be? Daniel? Like the prophet thrown into the lion's den? Tell me, are you among the lions, Daniel? You want to stop Alexander? Oh my, so Babylon shall fall, you say? You worry too much. Alexander is toothless without an arm. He has one. That's not very promising at all. The sanctum is basically impenetrable. But guess why more? It could be breached by another, but Alexander broke my own, a long time ago. Really? Well, if you tell the truth, by all means, seek out the pieces of the broken arm and mend away. I believe he uses them for torture now. They practically leak matter, which is quite useful, I understand. There should be 6 of them. Look around the choir and the transept. You should be able to find them there. I hate to bother you further, but if you're really going after Alexander, would you consider taking him with you? I know it sounds ridiculous. I mean, look at him. But if you find anything concerning a man named Johann Ryan, would you please bring it to me? I believe he is working on a way to him, a recipe for some sort of potion, a tonic to free me from this husk of mine. Good to see you. What lever? Oh, that lever. So many of Alexander's things are breaking down. Look around.
We're actually just going to move on because Agrippa likes to talk. Agrippa really, really likes to talk. He's got dialogue lasting for like 10 minutes. So we're basically gonna like go back to here so we can lift the doors for the choir and the transept.
Daniel, you have gone too far. I have to stop you. I can't let you proceed any further. I'm sorry, my friend.
Alexander is unhappy.
Was there something else?
Nope,
You got the doors open?
else.
Good going. I knew you could do it.
Sure you did. Right. Water Monster. Part 3. Transept this well on B.
How much more am I supposed to withstand? Kill me, Orphan! Kill me!
This one. Prepare him.
that's Alexander, but if your sanity is too low, it will show a different face. And it, like, it gets under my skin. So I'm actually not going to linger in these rooms for too long because it will drop my sanity. So I'm just going to pick up the tinder boxes, make sure that I check, have a look around.
The cradle is ready.
Good.
You're a man. How can you partake in this?
Is he all right?
He is one of the wicked. Don't pay his lies any attention.
I'm not a bad man. It was an accident.
He set a man on fire.
It wasn't my fault. Why won't anyone listen?
That's horrible.
Of course. We are dealing with monsters here.
That's 2 pieces.
No, please. Do anything. Whatever you want. Anything. I'll do anything. I'm innocent.
There's a reason for doing that. It's actually just to lower my, sort out my sanity, basically. It's not, if I keep it in the green, or at least in the yellow, it'll be fine. Because there's lots of moments coming up where, like, my sanity will dwindle. The last thing I want is a hazy screen. Also, there are 3 endings, and I'll elaborate on the endings when I get to them. Because if you're watching this video for the first time and you've never experienced this game before, then you'll be considered spoilers.
Daddy, good to see you. You seem to have found all the small pieces
This area again.
15th of August, 1839. The blood wards are failing. The shadow beckons, and its cry disarms my actions. Hurry. No time to spare. You have to kill another. Alexander produces a knife. He wants me to cut the flesh. Do it. Save yourself. He is a murderer, Daniel. He is evil. A cold-blooded killer. Hurry. Alexander, you must let me be. I have to concentrate. Take the man, cut the lines, cut the flesh, watch the blood spill, let it come. Please, I didn't do anything. Take the man, cut the lines, take the man, cut the lines. Please, the man cries. Now you see. I did well. One life for another. You hear me, guardian of the orb? I did all this for you. Now, once more, withdraw your shadow from my domain. Alexander, there isn't much time. I can feel it. We must act swiftly. I will do whatever it takes.
Okay, sometimes there's a body that appears there in this sort of similar fashion as a mannequin. There have been videos I've seen and times where I've played where multiple bodies will appear. I guess it's just based on the what you do in this area. If you go into the door on the right first. Okay, the choir is actually the most unpredictable part in the game for monster encounters. What I tend to do first is go right and then I go left. Sorry, I go right, then over a bridge, and then I explore pretty much in an anti-clockwise and then end up back at the start again. So this actually might be the one time I die. The good news is we don't have to use a lantern because it's actually lit quite well.
What are my intentions, Daniel? Salvation. It used to be yours, but now you only seek misplaced revenge. How do you justify your violence? Is it for the greater good? Are you doing the world a service? It is you who caused all this pain and death. If you had accepted your fate and submitted to the orb when you first discovered it, none of this would have happened. It is curiosity in league with your selfishness that is killing us both.
So the monster actually spawned behind me there.
The wheel is good for keeping your victims still during the procedure. They can be bound around the circumference or simply stretched across, tying limbs to the spokes and rim. All tools are by this point useful, and you may administer the torture in any way you like. But the forte of the wheel is the gaps. When you have decided that the victim shall die, you can smash their limbs with a hammer, making them fold in between the frame.
But they'll die. Too quickly, I mean.
No, don't worry. The human body is much more resilient. They can survive for days until they finally succumb.
That's cruelty right there. Excellent. There we go. So I'm actually just going to get this guy to come over here. Come on, you bastard. Go on. Over here. Here he comes. Yep. See ya, Jeff. Alright. Moving on. There was a tinderbox from there, actually. I probably should have got that. Doesn't really matter at this point in the game. If you have like 37 tinderboxes and you're like in the last part of the game, you pretty much have got a good amount. Alright, if you're doing the special ending, you'll definitely need this. I think there might be some oil in here. No, it's in the box. So there are different things you can activate there. I've chosen not to activate the I forgot what you call it now. The sequence where you can actually just look back on people's torture and how they can and what happens. So we're going to get another monster encounter here. Huh, okay, no monster encounter. This is the last place we'll pick up the orb. Shut that in case, you never know. Oh my god! I've played this game enough times now just to kind of get used to that. So, yeah. Okay, we are done in the choir. There's no notes in that area, so you don't have to worry about picking stuff up. It's just tinder boxes and the orb pieces. Now we've got all the orb pieces. We can actually go to the next part, and there will be a part after that where we get ambushed. Because technically we have all the pieces now to finish the game, but there's a catch. Chance to save my life. Right. There'll be a few things in here. If If you want to get the special ending, there is a piece of meat you need to get. I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to keep my sanity high. I knew it was one of those. I can't remember everything in this game.
I know this. I've been here already. I know this taste. A taste of Damascus rose obfuscating the truth in a dim haze. They may sweep the traces from my memory, but my body remembers. These cuts speak volumes, even though my mind remains silent. They will be back. Oh, they will be back.
I see that all the art pieces you need.
So we need to go back. Is it this one? I can't remember. No. So we need to see the water monster, feed it some meat, like you do, and
I see that all the art pieces you need. I know I have no.
And get its saliva. Alright, feeding time. It's weird that I don't have a shadow. The shadow has a shadow. I don't have a shadow. Veins. Alright, so we have all these.
I see that all the art pieces you need. I know I have no right to ask anything of you. But if you could find it in your heart to gather the ingredients for Vire's tonic before attempting to mend the orb, there might still be a chance for you to save me. Please, my fate is in your hands.
There you go. So there's actually a fun little fact here. This is the point where we're going to be ambushed. And we can actually avoid the monsters. I'm going to try and do it, but it's been a while. Ah, there we go. Look at all those guys. I actually figured this out when I was trying to get away from them. Unfortunately, there's no way to evade them. You can't get around them. They will just be sleep. Okay, so basically that's meant to happen.
You had me worried. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to do with you. I hold no grudge against you, Daniel. We are so very much the same, you and I. Did you really drink from the amnesia mixture? It does explain so much of your behavior. You never did finish what you set out to do. You talked about redemption, how you would face the orb's shadow and save our work, and me. I will grant you another chance to redeem yourself. You can wait here and stop the shadow. Thank you, friend.
You know, it's interesting. I've played this game so many times, completed it so many times, and I still hear this kind of like unique dialogue every time. Alright. This is it, guys. One or two of the final chase sequences. Let's see if I can do it.
Of August, 1839. Tonight, we will unlock the power of the orb and ultimately banish the shadow hunting me. I feel it closing in on me, and I fear for my life more than ever. Just outside Altstadt lies a small settlement where Zimmerman, a dairy farmer, lives with his wife and 3 children. The coach went there. Our visit was unexpected, and Alexander was able to strike Zimmerman down without alerting his others. As he went to take care of the farmhands, I began to look for the children. We should have more than enough prisoners to finish the ritual now.
So there's actually another water monster here, so just in case you didn't have chance to throw that piece of meat at that water monster in the other area, you could actually do it The game's quite linear at this point. It's just like there's only a certain it's not like you can spread out and go different ways. I can't remember what order to do this in. I think it's this one way first. And it's the bone that goes in here.
And I could hear the chancel collapse. The laboratory might be accessible now.
It is. Ow. Stop it. What on earth happened to that box? What? God damn it. Right, okay. That's a first for me. The console version is definitely bugged. How are these boxes falling through the map? What? Okay. It appears that you can do it here? No, you can't. Right. I don't know what's up there. Probably health. I have got plenty of that. Yeah.
You did it. Thank goodness. Now, pay attention. First, feed me the tonic, and then use the saw to remove my head. As the tonic begins to work, you'll be able to cut off my head without taking my life. Then, take my head and bring it with you. As you enter the gate Alexander is opening in the inner sanctum. What do you mean? Why wouldn't you enter the gate? We can't argue now. You need to act.
Down in one, Agrippa.
Quickly, off with the head.
Off with the head. Okay. The shadow is catching up now, so there's one more monster encounter. But if I do it a certain way, I don't think it'll spawn. Pardon my language. And that's the way I need to go. Great. Alright. The way to get rid of it is probably just by leaving and coming back in. Okay, we'll see if it's disappeared. It's gone. Great. So to stop the monster from spawning, when we throw this box or whatever at the gears, the monster will instantly spawn there. If we shut the door, I don't think it spawns.
10th of August, 1839. I cannot believe what I have become. One of the girls escaped and I chased after her all the way upstairs. I hunted her down, and what is her life worth? How many lives can I take before I surrender my own? Sure, I would kill a murderer to save an innocent, but to kill an innocent to save myself? A cold-blooded murderer.
good, apparently. Great. So the monster didn't spawn, which is good news. So if we don't take out that machine, we actually can't get past this area here. Okay, we need to run down here and shut the door behind us. Otherwise the shadow will... It's not that hard to miss.
19th of August, 1839. It's not fair! I'm not to blame! I've been manipulated by that demon. He played my guilty conscience and duped me into facing the shadow alone. That vile, conspiring man. He expects me to meet my death as he steals power beyond imagination. Alexander, I will kill you for what you have done. If only the shadow had caught me in London or Algeria, I wouldn't have to suffer this humiliation. You made me a murderer. A monster! And now, I merely await my death. I am too weak to press on. I can hardly stand as my knees fail me. I cannot see as my eyes are dressed in tears. I am as broken as the men I've tortured. If only I could wipe my fear away, as we did with them.
So this is just a simple case of like pretty much scratching your hand and going on these plates. That's a first for me. This is actually the last part of the game. I'm going to save and exit, and then I'm going to continue. The reason why I'm doing this is so I can do all 3 endings. It should pretty much put me right outside the door.
I was wondering if you were I see a gripper convinced you to run some errands. Tell me, is everything nice and clear now?
It's just weird.
The villain, good and evil. Such comforting concepts, but hardly applicable. Are you so blind that you see no good in me, or evil in Agrippa?
So, there are 3 endings to this, and what I'm going to do first is the good ending.
Don't do that to me. I realize without my intentions. Why would I take such extreme measures? Stop it! You're ruining it. We are so close, I beg you. Maybe I'm saving you. You killed us. You killed us both.
It was my greatest triumph, and I never looked back. You think I was afraid, fleeing Brennenburg? Huh. Quite the contrary. I knew it was my purgatory, hellfire made to wash away my sins. There's no denying the things I've done, but I have paid my tribute. I gave them that awful man. I did the right thing.
So, yep, that's the good ending. So the second ending is the bad ending where you do nothing.
I was wondering if you were going to show up. I see Agrippa convinced you to run some errands. Tell me, is everything nice and clear now? Am I the villain? Good and evil. Such comforting concepts, but hardly applicable. Are you so blind that you see no good in me, or evil in Agrippa?
So the bad ending, you basically jump down and you just allow the pylons to do their thing.
Thank you, my friend. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. You will be celebrated forever.
Okay, and now for the special ending. Special ending involves putting a gripper's head into the portal, and again, it's just like the bad ending, except you wait for the portal to open.
I was wondering if you were going to show up. I see Agrippa convinced you to run some errands. Tell me, is everything nice and clear now? Am I the villain? Good and evil. Such comforting concepts, but hardly applicable. Are you so blind that you see no good in me or evil in Agrippa?
I think that's just an indication that you can knock the pylons over, like they are in the stable. Iron bar. Door is not yet open. Don't touch the fire. That happens. Yes, I can't go anywhere near it. How's my heart doing? Always good. A slight headache.
There he is. Do you see him, Vaya? He deserves so much more. Please, help him. I know you can. Don't worry, Daniel. It will be all right.
And that's all the 3 endings to Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Personally, this is one of my all-time favourite games that has ever been released by Frictional Games, Thomas Grip. If you haven't watched his GDC, game developers conference that is definitely worth checking out. It talks a lot about Amnesia and Penumbra, the games that came before. The no death sort of scenario, where if you die you just get put in a point on the map, and it's a little bit easier to do. The mechanics, it's all really cool stuff to check out. It's about 40 minutes long with some Q&A at the end. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I've certainly enjoyed playing the game again, because I always enjoy playing it. And yeah, leave a like and subscribe if this is your kind of thing, and I'll do these things more often. Alright, take it easy guys, and I'll see you next time.